Hello everybody and welcome back to the next episode of Crusader Kings 3 here with Duchess Marie. Unfortunately, both Duchess Marie and her son and our heir Conan had a bad case of dysentery or constipation, and apparently the way to treat that and to solve that was to chop both their faces off. Conan just has some scars, but Marie, well, she's got to wear a face covering now, like King Baldwin of Jerusalem. So what is our plan? Scotland getting big, England's still fairly strong, Holy Roman Empire's big, although weirdly it's got a section of Wales in the middle. And Burgundy is a king under the Empress of Francia. I think we want to start thinking about trying to get to a kingdom ourselves. To do that, we need to target Normandy, because if we want to actually set ourselves up as a king, or in this case a queen, we need to create the Kingdom of Brittany. To do that, we need to have 2 duchy titles, we own 50% of the Douro counties, and we need 500 gold. Gold shouldn't be too much of an issue, but we need another duchy title, which means we probably need Normandy, because we already own 2 bits of Normandy, so we need to look at these bits here. So I'm actually going to move my guy away to fabricate claims over here. We can't go for this bit of Francia, but we can do other bits that will hopefully progress. Our culture has discovered the armillary sphere innovation. Wonderful. So if we can take Normandy for ourselves, especially as there doesn't appear to be another Norman Duke or Duchess, that would work in our favour. Of course we need money to do that, but that will come in time. We still have low control, in Bayeux especially. Let me have a look at what our Marshal is doing. He's organising the army, he can definitely do something better than that. We'll send him to increase control here. We can get ourselves a new perk here, wonderful. We're working towards Gallant. So we'll give Household Guard here, that gives us some more knights. Could be pretty good in the long run actually. In fact, we can invite some knights. That does only cost us 150 prestige, which I'm willing to spend in an effort to increase my military strength. Now, some of my strengths at the moment are mercenaries, so it won't be around forever. But that's okay. Duke Martin of Aragon apparently is a witch. We will blackmail him to get a hook. I don't know if we'll need to use that or not, but it's certainly worth having regardless, I would say. Okay, welcome to court, sir. You're okay, you're hardly spectacular. There we go, you can join my court. I mean, we will get some stress from doing so, but I think it's worthwhile to continue to grow our strength overall. The more knights we have, the better. We've also got Yaroslav, our second son here. He may not be destined for great things, but he is at least of fit and of sound body. Although he does have a terrible haircut, but you know, can't have everything. You've got a bunch of claims. That makes sense. Our second son, can we find him someone useful? King of England as an alliance might not be a terrible thing. Would that give us any claims over England, I wonder? Any potential claims? We'll have a look in a second. My son Conan and his little friend Benedicta have taken a copy of the scriptures from the study and brought it into the playroom and completely ruined it. Torn pages, footprints on the cover, no respect whatsoever. Seems as if little Conan doesn't care for the word of the divine. Yeah, Conan's not a man of diplomacy or god. Cynical, I think, is a fine trait for you to have. Alliance with potentially the Kingdom of Hungary. I feel like we've been there already. Kingdom of Wales. That could be a bit more interesting. How are you guys doing? You guys are quite strong, actually. Let's go for economic prosperity here, because we want to be creating some claims. Kingdom of Wales, you look strong. I don't want to be drawn into a war with you against the Holy Roman Empire. It's my only concern. Are you any good? You are. Welcome to court, sir. I feel like Wales may not be a bad idea. Let me see if I can sort this by claims of any kind. Yeah, only show them if they've got a claim for me. Bohemia is interesting. I don't think that's needed. Let's go on Zurich, Bavaria, also Bavaria, Genoa, Saarbrücken, Swabia, Tyrol, Honenberg, Sens, Metz, Poland. I feel like we don't really want to go too far east for the time being, at least within Europe. There's any like French people. Bretonic heritage? Bretons. No one. Doesn't matter about fertility. I suppose it does matter about fertility. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see if we can get you someone useful to marry as time goes on. I'll just get a claim from the Pope. It'll save me some time. No, he wouldn't. Although he does kind of like me. To a certain extent. Yaroslav's tooth. Sure. We'll buy the tooth, why not? Can I send you a gift? 150 to increase your opinion, but it's only by 16. It's not that useful to me. Interesting. Wales is certainly an interesting person, because we could maybe even buy into that as time goes on, marry into that family and try and take out this son here. If I were to marry Princess Kristin or Princess Anest to Yaroslav and then kill off Prince Tasilio, that might work in our favour. Peering through the dusty murk of the armory, my gaze travels over multiple different weapons of war. A pair of battered leather greaves, a recently sharpened sword, a spear with a worn haft, a rusty farming tool. I pick up the farming implement. Perhaps it has been lumped in unknowingly with the weapons. I heft the tool, examining its curiously curved sickle-like blade, as I give it an experimental swing at a nearby hauberk. The blade pierces the mail, scattering a few iron rings across the floor. Interesting. Let's see if we can repurpose that into a weapon. Someone's trying to steal me. Steal artifact from Duchess Marie. Interesting. Let's see if we can get you married to Yaroslav here. born into House Leon. We're going to send that off. Wales could be important as time goes on, although Alba might cause problems. Taking the small blade out of the midday sun, I inspect it more closely. The blade tapers to a point at one end and disappears into the tang at the other, leaving a length of slightly rusty, but still sharp iron in between. The king of the blade's head gives the implement a wicked curve to it, useful for cutting through shrubs, you think, or maybe finding gaps in armour. It's clear this could be repurposed as a weapon of war. The question remains exactly what guise said weapon would take. Rudimentary dagger, a halberd. We'll try for a halberd. No, we broke the tool. Never mind. Okay, so the Welsh plan has begun. Which means you need to die. I'm so very sorry. Secrecy is fine, if not spectacular. Hi there. Count Bernard, our half-brother, how dare you? Today I took a fancy to admire my worn language manual, but to my horror I found it gone. After some feverish investigation, the servant comes forward saying that Count Bernard is Severin orchestrated the brazen theft. Indeed, it said he often waxed about how much better the war language manual would look in his possession. You just asked, you're my half-brother. I probably would have just given it to you. Right. We're going to start murdering Tassilo, or attempting to. Now, we need some people who are willing to actually join this scheme. Problem is, I think most people will not do it for free. Our husband will join in, that's interesting. We have a better assassin. You might be able to join in. But we require a lot of cajoling to actually join in. You might be a bit better. Put you in there. Infiltrator, we need to probably find one. Bernard, our knight. 53 gold, that'll pop him in, that's fine. We'll come to that Duke Philippe's feast in a second. Anyone that I don't have to pay? Right, I'm going to have to pay someone to join in here. I don't think we need to go to the feast, but it might not be a terrible idea. We'll get to that in just a second. I don't think anyone's going to join in here unless we have to pay them a hefty cost. Yeah, it's not worth it. And what about an alibi? So anyone we can have as an alibi. Alibi strikes me as inherently quite useful. Even if they're not particularly good. Even having just a basic would be better than nothing. What about a bribe and prestige? Oh, it's 100 gold. Sure, this is setting up for the future. I think it'll be worth it. Right, this feast. Duchess Marie of Brittany, I hereby invite you to my feast at Castle Reims. Together we should enjoy the fruits of the duchy. Sure, we'll go. Mercenary guards and a culture ambassador. That's probably going to be okay. Let's start the journey. My fellow vassal Duke Philippe is hosting a banquet in Reims, and time has come for us to depart. The feast is on the Countess Ducha, a truly remarkable human being whom deserves additional reverence. I do look forward to trying the spiced wine of the Reims region, as well as enjoying the local cuisine. Well, this is costing us money, which is obviously not helpful, but it's going to take us a while to get things ready anyway. It is known that the people of Penth, I'm going to say because I still can't pronounce that county, seem to profess a special devotion towards their knights and their legends. My lady, the knight says, bowing his head, it is most fortunate that you and I came to meet at this crossroad, for I am in search of a marvellous fountain where water is said to cure illnesses. If you tell me my quest, I shall pay homage to you. Bernard is quick to interrupt. Wait, my lady, I know this knight. It's Riolon. You follow the knight? Is that the Fountain of Youth? Sure, we'll go to the Fountain of Youth. The light leads us to a small clearing where a natural fountain glimmers. The light reflects on its surface with a blissful shimmer, and it makes the water look so bright that it looks like a second sun, or feels like a second sun. Careful, a beast, a guardian. The light points at a stag, standing between us and the fountain. We can kill him, but we don't want to lose our chance of the water. You shall make a fine distraction. We've gained healing water. That's a famed trinket. That's pretty damn cool. Let me actually put that on, or use that. I mean, stress gain down is going to be very useful for us overall. Pretty happy with that. We'll also equip the tooth, because why not? We already equipped another tooth, but hey ho. Day on the road has been fairly calm and nondescript so far. We are somewhere outside of Saint-Malo, and I close my eyes as my mount brings me forward one solid step at a time. As the wind plays a magnificent melody through the treetops, another noise is carrying by the breeze, and not from our entourage. Is that quacking? I say the sound to be coming from a shrubbery on my right-hand side. The stress of a duck can have a remarkably soothing effect. Follow the duck. I dismount and look at the duck in the nearby shrubbery. It starts waddling off in the wilderness, and I follow by foot. Suddenly the duck stops and tilts its head in my direction, clearly confused as to why it has procured a human follower. I smile at the duck, trying to ease the tension, but the duck suddenly squirms, flaps its wings, and flies away. The massive chopping block in the middle of the logging camp of Kronberg has seen much use. Let me see this one before, actually. We're most likely to get sore muscles, and we definitely want to chop off our leg. We'll just carry on. We're doing pretty okay for stress at the moment, anyway. You might be a Duchess Marie, but you're also a solitary scullion. The unprovoked anger expressed by my husband, Duke Henrik, came as a complete surprise. He's been under a lot of stress lately. When asked to explain himself, he only doubled down the insults. Great. Our husband's our rival. That's hardly ideal, is it? Because now he's going to not like us very much, I don't think. Long after the night is settled, I find myself laughing, telling stories, and drinking my personal physician Tenebir and my knight Bernard. I don't know she had it in her, but Tenebir ends up telling a particularly ribald story about 4 peasants she'd seen in Leon. After drying my eyes from the laughter and drinking a bit too much to clear my throat, I will tell a story of my own. No, Tenebir, tell me another story. Becoming friends with our personal physician does not seem like a bad idea in the slightest. In the quiet of our camp in de France, a shrieking uproar breaks the calm. My fellow traveller Killwolf confronts my friend Tenebir, accusingly holding a treasured amulet. You thief! This was my mother's. Killwolf exclaims, eyes blazing with anger. Tenebir vehemently denies the claim. You lying sycophant, it has always belonged to me. Ooh, 110 gold. They become rivals. We really do not have time for this. Okay, our captain's wounded. As we prepare to set off in the morning, I see my friend Tenebir standing outside the camp all alone. As I walk over to talk to her, I notice a change in the wind. As far as the warm breeze crisps my face for a moment, a noticeable change in the cold weather we've had recently. It is finally spring. That's fine, we'll carry on. I'm pretty happy that we got the healing water. Less stress is just generally useful overall. How's this going on? It's taking its time, that's for sure. We'll keep an eye out, see if anyone else is willing to come in here. I don't think they will. The servants run across the hall, bringing the final decorations. Some of the guests are yet to arrive, and I indulge myself with a delicious drink by the fire. I can't wait for that boar to make a fool of himself. I mean, this is getting us extra prestige. It's not a bad thing. We've been spending a lot of that recently, and we're going to need a lot if we are to form a kingdom here. Okay, we can get a bribe here for Lizu. We'll do that. We'll probably have to give this away to someone else, though, because we won't be able to... Hang on, what's going on here? Combat and region furthers mandate. Thanks recruiting. And our Baroness is starting to swing the scales of power somewhat. There's abuse of power. So we get, well, we get extra levy size, but still, that's worrying. Right, you. Is there anything more jovial than a good feast? Guests thrown to and fro, eating and chatting, while flickering torchlight plays off every wall. Like bouncing light laughter around the hall. So much opportunity to talk, to meet, to discuss, to plan. Each new conversation is the seed of a new goal, each dish an excuse to add another contact, even. Sometimes it's nice to simply sit back and enjoy the little things in life. Good for it to mingle here with 2. Nice. What is she doing? Is she dancing? I'm guessing she's dancing. Duchess Ida here. Or she's very drunk. I mean, she is an irritable drunkard. But I think she's dancing. That's fine. We'll let her carry on. Not thrilled by the scales of power. You might need to go away. The other guests are laughing and chattering in the noisy hall, making it hard to focus on the gruel in front of me. I draw lines and engagements in the greasy sludge as I think of ways to counter various battle plans. Okay, we can get a new lifestyle perk, good. Let me actually unlock that now, so we get Peacemaker, wonderful. Oh, I might have missed that quest, that's fine. Oh no, it's here. Eating and drinking was a little too far along when Adeline decided it was time for some horse riding. The stables were locked up tight, but with guidance from a couple of people, she soon led a group of eager riders inside. With no control of the animals, there was swearing, laughter, and broken bones as men and women fell from horses ambling around the hall. Other creatures in the stables did not get away much easier, and the goat nearly caved in under the weight of Duchess Ida. Okay, we're doing well with our stress gain, that's for sure. I'm happy about that. We are not stressed in the slightest. Let's get our chap working on the next region in the area. My acquaintance have heard rumour of a plague called King Garcia's Pox. It's said to be rampant in the Kingdom of Castile, with the victims being riddled by scars and rashes. Not even the fresh quail can take my mind off it. Let us pray for Castile. This is a little bit of prestige. Now we need to see what your strength is, not too much. And I want to work out what else is part of Normandy. It's these ones up here. So maybe Rouen or Flanders. Okay, you hold Flanders. That's kind of annoying. So we'll send you over to fabricate a claim on U. Duke Philip's feast is soon to come to an end. It's sad to think that we'll have to say farewell, but at least we'll be able to look back and chuckle at the escapades of Adelind and a drunken band of merrymakers for years to come. I'm not going to declare war till we have gone home. The rumours that have been circulating about Duchess Sibylla want to carry favour with Empress Navarre are confirmed as she hands her a gift. My dearest liege, it's so lovely to see you. Knowing that we meet here, I brought you this marvellous pelt as a token of my appreciation. Empress Navarre grins as she studies the animal hide. Seeing how happy she is from receiving a gift, I realise I'm at risk of missing this opportunity to improve my standing with her as well. My liege, I have a gift for you. A toast. My liege, I have a gift for you. Oh, I like my cursed wolf hide though. No. Although we don't want to do that. Here, a toast. As the feast winds it to its inevitable conclusion, there's one event remaining that everyone is expecting, and that's Duke Philippe's toast to the guest of honour, Countess Duchy. It's a decent speech, if a bit long-winded. That's how these things usually go. The assembled guests clap and weep politely when it finishes, some more enthusiastically than others. Here. Okay. Right. Time for us to go home. And we start working on Eager Reveler. Interesting. Finish the feast, and we'll start heading home. It's not a bad idea at all. I need you to not have any more sons, please. Travelling through the rugged terrain of Mayo, a challenge rises as the grass stem becomes a labyrinth of tall grass. One night and my friend Tanabu began to argue about the best approach to traverse the treacherous trail. It seems as if my entourage is at an impasse. Let's do this one, I guess. Everyone's wounded, hardly ideal. But hey ho, we keep making progress. Let's get ourselves back home though. I think that would be a wise thing to do. Then we can declare war. We'll have to find something important to give this next territory to. Because we can't hold on to all this territory ourselves, unfortunately. But yes, please don't have any more kids. Or at least any more sons. Amidst the tranquil pastures of Mayan, a figure tends to a horse with a wounded leg. As we draw closer, he looks up, his eyes reflecting years of knowledge. A simple misstep, but she will run again. Moved by his care, we pause in our journey. Can you can become my master, of course. Sure. No reason not to. You're pretty good overall, actually. Countess Ava has got disputed heritage. It's fine. We've met a herdsman. Journey through Sambaloo unveils sprawling pastures dotted with cattle. As my retinue pauses at the edge of a verdant field, the herdsman approaches. Cheerfully strumming his lute, he grants a broad smile in greeting. My lady, he begins, these beasts are the pride of our province. Will you join me to witness our labour, restock supplies, or perhaps partake of our famous blue cheese? We get an artifact of blue cheese? Sure. I mean, I despise blue cheese in real life, but I'll say no to another artifact. That's interesting. It actually gives us attraction opinion down because it smells bad. As we walk through one of the churches in my lands, I overhear a group of travellers talking quietly to one another. One of them, a woman, starts comparing with her journey to Jerusalem. I can't help but listen into the conversation as she continues going into detail about the fantastic things that they saw. Looking around, I can only imagine how much better it must be than the dainty sight I see here. What an interesting tale, but we're just going to keep going. I don't think we want to try going to Jerusalem at the moment. I'm home again. Wonderful. I'm no longer showing power. Can I actually imprison you? Apparently not. But I don't really like getting so much power. Pope doesn't like us. Oh well. Right. Who was else going to attack? It's going to be you, wasn't it? Declare war. Who are all our allies? Is it the French? No, it's the Welsh, of course. Well, we're going to declare that war. Do we need to bring the Welsh into this? I'm not entirely sure. We will do if we need to. Let's get going quickly here. We might just be able to knock him out before any problems occur. I guess we should call in the Welsh just for safety. Call to war. Oh, that's 350 prestige. That's probably not worth it for the time being. Let's see if we can just knock out these armies before we call in the Welsh unnecessarily here. Because we may not need to. We may be able to catch some of these people off guard. Looks like we are due to have a fight here in a second. I think we've got this in the bag. Looks like we do. I mean, for sure we'll take some casualties, but looks like we're winning overall, which is the main thing. They actually have a high quality of soldier in comparison to us, but we have, I think, the numbers to take them on, which is the main thing. So that'll be a pretty big win for us, which is good. We've even captured some combatants as well. Negotiate release. I could recruit you or get a hook. I'd prefer just to ransom you, but it doesn't look like you will accept a ransom. That's fine, let's just carry on here. We've broken the back of them there. I don't think we need to call in our allies. I think that would be unnecessary. We could always call in some mercenaries, but 350 prestige I'd prefer to hold on to for the time being, to be honest. I'm just going to have to work out who we give this land to. Okay, we've lost an alliance with you, that's fine. We still hold an alliance with Wales, which I think is good. They're a fellow Brythonic kingdom, it makes sense. It's also it's quite a high level fort, so it's going to take a while for us to break through there. I don't think you guys got the money to hold out here. You've got 179, so you could arguably hire some mercenaries, but I don't think you'd be able to hire enough to really cause us much issue there, so that's pretty good. They might come in for another attack, but I'm not hugely worried. We've lost one of our council positions, that's fine. We've got plenty of fairly competent troops. In fact, Harscott here can be our marshal. He's pretty damn good at it. In fact, he's out commanding troops as the time goes on. We've lost our master of the hunt, that's okay. What's our liege doing? You are going after Barcelona, my word. Right, our son has come of age. With his coming of age, my tuition of Conan is at an end. Conan has never displayed much interest for the subject of warfare, but I always hoped that there might be a passing phrase. I was naive. He has only developed a basic understanding of the subject, but at least he has learned the essentials of managing an army, and I hope the rest will come with experience. He's not terrible. He's good at the intrigue, he's good at martial. He's not diplomatic. That's not going to be something he's very good at all. He is our heir, though. How old is his betrothed? 13. Fine, we'll have to do that when we can. Sablé is under siege. We can go deal with that as time goes on. The problem is the fort here is a lot weaker. We probably need to up our forts generally across the board. Can call in some dynasty members. I don't think it's needed. And I certainly don't want to lose the large amounts of renown to do so. How long left on this siege here? Another 5 months, so they'll probably finish their siege first. They will, but we can go and once we take over this one, that other one there shouldn't really matter, I would think. Why is there another plague? Where is it? It is up in the west of England, Scotland and Ireland. You my son to be raised? No, sorry. In fact, I should really be educating him myself. I don't know why I haven't been. He's not going to be so much about the marshal, and he's also wounded. Not sure why. It's okay. Should be fine. And let me make sure there's been no more Welsh kids being born. Because I don't want any more kids. Oh, you've got the Holy Fire. You might be dead anyway. That's good. Is that why you're dancing around? Because you've got diarrhea and nausea. We might not even need to kill him. He might just die anyway, which should actually be much more useful. Our rival's imprisoned. That's fine. I don't need to worry too much about that. Okay, let's pause. We've won. Enforce demands. Okay, we get this. So wonderful. Above our domain limit. Who's our marshal? Because he's pretty damn good. Huscott here. I'm willing to give him. First of all, let's just find him some random wife. Let's just reset the defaults here. Well, you can marry. That's fine. I just want you to have a kid. You, I'm going to grant you. What's that place I just took over? Lisieux, this one here. Okay. So he's now a count. Do restriction is very important to your vassals. Not being the rightful liege can be detrimental to your relations. That's fine. That's not too much of an issue, I don't think. We'll disband all our armies, send them home. It's another bit of territory earned. We just need to keep working on our Norman conquest. We need one more county to be able to create the Duchy of Normandy, and then we can go straight into the kingdom. The problem is, if I make myself Duchess of 2 regions and then I'm able to make myself into the Queen of Brittany, the land will split because I have 2 primary titles, or 2 titles as a Duchess. So one would go to Conan and then one would go to Yaroslav. Like, we'll lose some of our counties to Yaroslav anyway when we die, but we don't want to split the duchies. That's more of a concern. Now I wonder how this is going on down here. The fight for Barcelona. There's a big old fight going on here, my word. Who's going to win that one? It looks like probably not the French. I don't know, actually, it's pretty even. Well, we'll see how that war progresses. Mona's no longer my wet nurse. That's fine. Oh, you've recovered from your sickness. That's sad. Has another son. That's also annoying. So we're going to have to kill quite a few people in Wales to make this work. We're going to have to kill Prince Garmon here, who's only just come into this world, I should say. I could execute with confidence. It's probably a good idea to wait. 62% is not perfect, but I don't see how we're going to get much better than that. Let us get our next martial perk. That gives us Gallant. So that's Attraction, Opinion, Accolade, Glory, Martial, Prowess, and Monthly Prestige up. Very nice indeed. Certainly well worth having. So we need to keep on assassinating children of Wales, because if we can get Yaroslav over there, that wouldn't be a bad thing either, or Yaroslav's child. That being said, they would then take chunks out of Brittany, but it might still be useful in the long run. Oh, our knight has entered a dueling contest for the Holy Roman Empire. That is interesting. And the Kingdom of Burgundy here is had their king taken prisoner. Interesting. We need to really ramp up our income at the moment. I'm trying for a tournament. I don't know if we're pretty good in tournaments. We could go for that. We could also eat our cheese. The longer the cheese is aged, the more stress you'll lose when you eat it. Fine. We can get around to doing that a little bit later. We can train for a tournament. I don't know if that's something we need to consider at the moment. We're already probably a little bit unhealthier than the average person. Let's keep focusing on becoming a queen here in Brittany, if we possibly can. I think that sounds more sensible in the grand scheme of things. As my scheme moves closer to fruition, swift communication is key. I have an especially clever pigeon with Duke Henrik who could use to send an urgent message to me here in Neon if the need arises. But how would I get the bird into the castle of Ceredigion? A local bird trainer could deliver it as a gift. Sure. No, didn't work. We spent 65 gold for that to not be a success. But that's okay. That could have been worse, to be honest. Just got to keep working on expanding Brittany internally within France for the time being. Arguably I should have gone for Rennes because that would have put our territories together a little bit more, but that's fine. That would still give us enough in Normandy to create this. So we just need to think about money now. We'll see if we can execute this scheme to murder Tasilio here. Once we have enough advantages, that should be fine. Doing pretty well in terms of troop count. I hope that the Welsh don't go into any unnecessary wars. I'm glad you got the lover's pox, because that means you're less likely to have sex with your wife and therefore more kids, which would be useful, to be honest. Murder scheme has 10 scheme advantages. Let's see if we can do this. We will execute the scheme if we can. Looks like there's a 70% chance to execute this. Tasilio is finally dead, a thorn in my side no longer, thank God. Children are such fragile creatures, any sickness could steal them away from their family, or any accident, like those involving delicate little heads and sharp needles. I don't need nor want to hear the details, as long as the job was done. So gruesome, such a disgrace. Thankfully, though there will always be whispers, my involvement in this crime remains unknown. I had to do this, and we lose some stress. Excellent. Well, that's one dealt with. On to this 1-year-old, which is not going to be very nice for me to do, but let's start that. I'm going to... Weirdly enough, my son will do that. That's interesting. Anyone Elsewhere to join. Maybe I shouldn't send my son in, I'm not sure. Again, the more we can deal with this line of Welsh heirs, the better. You'll join, you're not quite as good. I guess we'll put our son back in. Actually, you're slightly better and you wouldn't take much convincing. We'll just spend... I was hoping to just spend some prestige. Fine, we'll put our son in and hopefully nothing happens to him. We'll start working on attacking this little child. We've got a little bit of time to do that, to get Yaroslav potentially on the throne of Wales, or Yaroslav's child. Today my son Yaroslav was taught a lesson in vassal management. It was quite a complicated course, necessary, but perhaps a bit beyond Yaroslav's grasp even. I must let things take time. Yaroslav says, only by being patient and letting my subjects work at their own pace may I rule wisely. Patience will serve you well, child. That's fine. We don't want you to be too ambitious, because you're the second in line to the throne. How's the claim coming along? Not too long to go. What we need now is just plenty of money to keep things going. Because what I don't know is if we're allowed to just make a kingdom while we are under the rule of an empress. That I'm not sure of. It doesn't say you can't, but it does say you need 2 duchy titles. And then you need 500 gold, plus the 300 for making the duchy. So we need about 800 gold in total. Now we're doing okay there, but we still need plenty more yet. We will call things apart there. And next time we will continue to push Brittany, and in this case Duchess Marie and her son Conan, into becoming a queen or a king in the near future. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.